Hi, this is Brian Zinchuk of Pipeline Online, Saskatchewan's Energy News. And today was the throne speech, or the speech from the throne, that kicks off the new government session. This is the start of a new mandate of the Saskatchewan Party forming government for the fifth time, which is a big deal. And this is an opportunity for them to lay out what they plan on doing for the next 4 years, but especially for the next year. So the throne speech came out this afternoon at 2 o'clock, and it's not very long. It's only 11 pages. It's definitely one of the shorter ones I've seen. I'm kind of glad I didn't go to Regina to record this or to report on this because there is no mention of the words energy or oil in it at all. Indeed, it's just it's mostly about healthcare and education. So, other words it doesn't mention is it doesn't mention energy development, energy transition, coal, nuclear power, small modular reactors, uranium, lithium, power grid, wind, solar, renewable, helium, or even climate. So there's a laser focus in this uh, new throne speech, and it is to answer the things that came up on the doorstep in the election that just took place, and that is education and healthcare. Talks about 5 new hospitals, talks about multiple new schools being built, talks about new urgent care centers in some of the smaller, larger centers, such as Prince Albert and North Battleford, for instance, which are supposed to alleviate the emergency rooms that they have in these centers. That's all fine and dandy, but there's not a lot of discussion here about where is this money going to come from. And one of the things I'm be writing a lot about in the coming months and years is we need to talk in Saskatchewan about the revenue side of the ledger. We need to talk about where is this money coming from. The big thing that I noticed this last year, and I've been writing about this for almost 17 years now, is that the number one contributor to Saskatchewan's GDP, our economy, it's not agriculture, it's not potash, it's oil. So, being that that is the number one moneymaker in this province, maybe it should get a mention every single time you do a throne speech, every time, single time you're talking about government direction. Maybe it deserves to be at the forefront and top of mind because how are we going to pay for all these new doctors that we're going to hire? How are we going to pay for building these schools? Are we going to double the amount of tourism that we have? Are we going to double the amount of canola that we produce? We're working pretty hard on increasing the amount of potash that we're producing, but that's taking a very long time and a lot of money. So where are we going to do this? One of the things I'm working on here is I've got a series of stories I've already done several interviews on and been thinking a lot about here is in the campaign, Premier Moe mentioned that he'd like to see Saskatchewan hit 1 million barrels of oil per day. In the growth plan, which was mentioned in his throne speech, it had talked about, and this plan came out, I think, in 2019, thereabouts, hitting 600,000 barrels a day. Well, right now we're about 454, and we've been flat close to that for most of the last 20 years. So, how are we going to increase the revenue side to pay for all these doctors and to pay for all these schools and to pay for all the other things that are in promised both in this throne speech and during the campaign? I think we need to start focusing on where the money's coming from, and Pipeline Online is going to be doing a lot of work on that to say, hey, we're going to be paying the bills. How are we going to do it? Let's get it done. So I'll be doing a lot more stuff online like this. I will be doing a podcast shortly with Bronwyn Eyre, who is former Energy Minister for Saskatchewan, as well as former Attorney General and Minister of Justice. We're just getting the things worked out for that. We've already got a title sponsor. Grimes Sales and Service is coming on board to be our title sponsor for that. And we're hoping to do a podcast about twice a month, give or take. And we're going to be talking about this stuff more in depth. One of the things that what happened with the American election is we found that people who went on Joe Rogan, including Trump and most of the people on his team, they won the election. And the people who ignored podcasts, well, they're sitting on the sidelines now. So maybe it's time to get into this podcast thing. So I'm going to be doing more online sessions like this on here. Hopefully I'll have a nicer set eventually and get this worked out. But I think that long form discussion, I think that video is definitely the way to go to get people more engaged. And I think there is a lot to be told in Saskatchewan's energy sector. So that's it for right now. I guess disappointing reaction from the Saskatchewan party's speech from the throne. I should mention that the NDP put out a press release immediately after, as they always do, because they get an embargoed copy of the of the speech. And one of the things that it talked about is basically the same old speech. And, they have some valid points in that, but guess what? They weren't talking about energy either. So they did mention that they do want to bring in a immediate cut to the gasoline tax as early as Wednesday as an emergency motion for tomorrow. So that's the drama that they're going to try to bring into this. But the reality is that they didn't talk much about energy either. So I guess we're going to see what's going to happen. Should be an interesting session. Follow along for pipelineonline.ca, where you get Saskatchewan's energy news. Thank you very much.